I needed the food noise. This is not a quick fix. Stop allowing yourself to belittle yourself and to think less of yourself. I'm patting myself on the back for that because they weren't lying, okay? I do not restrict myself. Girl, that is some growth right there. Never let go of the belief in yourself. Hey guys, it's Jill. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to tell you all about how I lost 56 pounds without dieting. So before we get into this video, I do want to say that I do have a channel membership, and on the screen is listed everything that you will receive within my channel membership. If you want to learn more about it, it is down below in the description box. Now, what I'm about to tell you, some of you are not going to want to hear. But those of you that don't want to hear it are the ones that need to hear this the most. I have lost 56 pounds completely naturally, no medication, no surgery, nada. It has all been done natural. And I don't say these words to discredit anyone that is on medication or anyone that has chosen to get weight loss surgery. This is my personal journey that I'm about to speak upon, and I can only speak for myself and my beliefs and what I believe. I knew that if I got on the medication, it would take away the food noise, and I knew I needed the food noise. I also knew that with a surgery that's gonna alter my life possibly forever, I'm a single mom. What if I get the surgery and I'm sick for the rest of my life? And then my kids have to take, like, you just don't know. You go into the surgery not knowing that you may have complications for the rest of your life. And to me, it wasn't worth it for me, and it's not worth it for me. So I had to figure out a way to lose this weight naturally without the assistance of any of those kinds of tools. The reasons why I really went into that is because I'm sure I'm going to get asked the questions, why did you decide not to take any of the medications or do weight loss surgery? Because at my highest, I weighed 331 pounds. That's a lot of weight. So I saw this on my affirmations this morning, and I wanted to start with this. I am proud of myself for taking responsibility for my well-being and committing to a healthier lifestyle. This 56 pounds that I just lost came off because I chose to change my life. It's more than just what are you eating, what are you doing for exercise, or it's more than just eat less, move more. There is so much more that goes into this weight loss journey. For me, getting myself up to over 300 pounds, I did not love myself. I did not care for myself. I wanted to hide from the world. I did not want men looking at me. It's weird because I didn't like the fact that I felt invisible, but then I also wanted to be invisible. And let me kind of paint a picture for you on what my day-to-day looked like. If I didn't have to work, I was laying down on the couch. That was me. Every minute pretty much was consumed by, what am I gonna eat? How much of this am I gonna be able to eat before I get full? Because I don't want to get full. And on top of that, I want this emotional pain that I'm feeling to go away. So much so that I'm willingly putting myself in physical pain. And that's a big reason as to why I ate so much. And I came to that realization, I'm not exactly sure. I know it was sometime this year. And when I had that moment, it was just a massive aha moment for me. And I told myself, I said, Jill, you can't do that anymore. You cannot put yourself willingly into a food coma, because let me tell you what happens when I'm in a food coma. I am existing. I am not living my life. I'm sitting there watching everyone else live their life, jealous, envious, comparing, wondering why that can't be me, wishing that was me. And I'm sitting here not doing anything about it. I'm never gonna say I was a bad mom because I've never been a bad mom. I'm a great mom. However, thinking back to those days of me just laying on the couch, allowing my kids to see me like that, I quit smoking back in 2020. I feel what I was doing to my body was worse than what I was doing to my body with the cigarettes. So this is me at the beginning of this year. I have lost almost 45 pounds just this year alone, which is insane for me to think about. And then right here is me at my biggest. I have a picture, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. Me and my kids went to church for, I think it was Christmas Eve last year, and they saw this picture the other day and were completely shocked. And I will never forget that picture because I despise that picture so much that I said, I cannot do this anymore. I feel for me, I never truly allowed myself to see myself over 300 pounds. In my head, I was about the size that I am now, maybe even smaller. I think that it wasn't so much reverse body dysmorphia as it was I did not want to come to terms with what I had done to myself. And if I actually allowed myself to see that, that meant I would have had to do something about it. And I just wanted to continue to ignore it. And in my head, I looked like I do now, like I said, possibly even smaller. Now, when it came to losing weight, I've tried so many things. Keto, low carb, not eating after 7, not eating fruit but once a day, not eating fruit after 3, Weight Watchers. I tried so many things. In my head, I had tried everything. So I thought. Last year, I got myself a nutritionist. Last year, I got myself a therapist. Last year was the beginning of my healing journey. Last year, I also prioritized getting in a lot of activity and putting exercise as one of my main priorities for the year. Pretty much like, okay, we have to heal. I knew 100% without a doubt that in order for any kind of weight loss journey to work for me, I was going to have to get to the root of the problem, the root of why I ate so much. So I created something back in December that I call my Toolbox, which I relied heavily on the first 3-4 months of my journey, which I still go to that box often, but not nearly as often as I used to. I will link a video down below explaining everything that's in my toolbox that has helped me. And basically what it is other than exercise, what are some coping mechanisms and coping tools that we can use instead of us going to food for comfort? What can we do to kind of distract ourselves or to comfort ourselves? And it is chock full of a bunch of different things. So I will link that video down below if you guys are interested in seeing that. I wrote here, I need to get to the root of why I kept choosing to self-sabotage and to emotionally eat and binge. This has been a very painful process, and it's been a very eye-awakening process. In the process of me doing all of this work, I've become more self-aware of my behaviors and why I was doing them. And I started to pour more love into myself and was starting to speak more kindly to myself. That self-love is going to be my #1 tip on how I lost the weight and how I'm going to continue to lose the weight. And then once the weight is done and once I've reached my goal, how I'm going to continue to take the weight off. Self-love. We don't talk about this nearly enough in a weight loss journey, but if you do not choose to do things for yourself, put yourself first, go do your workouts for you, for nobody else, go put on the makeup, go put on the cute outfit, go on solo dates, do the face masks, go get yourself facials, go for pedicures, go get the massages if you can. All of these things, whatever self-care and self-love looks like to you, you need to start implementing it into your weight loss journey if you have not yet. Because I'm telling you, you get to your goal still hating yourself, who you are, and your body, you are not gonna make it. I wanted to pop on here real quick and interrupt this video by saying this. Would you be friends with someone who talks to you the way you talk to you? If the answer is no, stop talking to yourself the way that you're talking to yourself immediately. Stop it. Become self-aware, and when you notice yourself doing it, stop it and replace whatever it is that you're telling yourself with something positive, okay? You would not allow anyone to talk to you, so stop allowing you to be your biggest bully. Stop allowing you to talk to you that way. Also, would you talk to your best friend that way? Would you allow your best friend to talk to you that way? Because we need to start learning to be our own best friends, A. But B, if you would not allow anyone else to talk to you the way you talk to you, don't you dare continue to talk to yourself that way. Fix it immediately. Because when I tell you, you will not make it. You will not make it in this journey if you are not nice to yourself, if you are not kind to yourself, if you do not start telling yourself day in and day out, I love you, you're amazing, you're kind, whatever it is that you're good at, remind yourself of that every single day. And don't you ever forget to also tell yourself that you can do this. Whenever self-doubt starts to creep in, tell it to go somewhere else. Shove it. Shut it. Get behind me. You are not. No, I am going to do this. I will lose this weight. I will change my life because I have it in me. Every single one of us. I don't care who you are. Everybody has it in them. You have to change this. And you have to change the way you talk about yourself, the way you talk to yourself. If you are sitting there saying, oh, I'm just fat. Oh, my parents are fat. This is just my life. Absolutely not. Because you are allowing yourself to live in that self-defeated mindset. Stop allowing yourself to belittle yourself and to think less of yourself because you are not your thoughts. You are not your mind. You are not your feelings. You are not your parents. You are not your genes. Fight back at that crap. That was just on my heart to say. So let's go ahead and get back into this video. You are not gonna make it. And how do I know this? Because I have been thin before. Let me put up a picture of what I used to look like. This was me at 140. This girl right here looked in the mirror every single day and said, I'm so fat. This girl right here. Do you want to know why? Because I hated myself. I hated my body. I hated the way that I looked. So I already knew when I started this journey, if I didn't learn to love myself, nothing was ever going to stick. It did not matter what I was going to do. Nothing was going to stick because I have to put myself first. I have to love myself and I have to accept the things about myself that I can't change or don't want to change and figure people are gonna love me, take it or leave it. I wanna go back to my old life in which I used to literally just watch people live their lives while I was just existing, whether that was in a YouTube video or watching Hallmark movies, however it was, I was watching other people live their lives. This is really, really, really hard to read, but I'm gonna read it. I would eat so much so that I didn't have to participate in life. Food was all I thought about. I would put myself into a food coma pretty much every day. If I didn't have to go anywhere, I was eating as much food as I could and making myself as physically miserable and ill as I could. And do you know what I learned this year as I started to heal? I would eat so much so that I didn't have to participate in life. I would eat because it felt easier to just exist than to live life and put myself back out there again and risk people hurting me. Because my whole entire life, people that were supposed to care for me, people that were supposed to love me, people that were supposed to protect me, didn't do any of that. They ended up hurting me. And that's a really hard pill to swallow. So many people have mistreated me and hurt me in my past that it just felt easier. It felt easier to be in a body that was not society's definition of beauty because I didn't want the attention from men. I was married to a man who made it his mission to dull my shine. Make sure that I never shined more than he did. Made sure that I was this little shell of myself and I was down here and he was up here. And the man before him, kind of the same thing pretty much. It felt easier to hide from the world and isolate as much as I could. And I'm gonna be honest, when I want to go back to those old behaviors of mine, a lot of this is what I'm feeling. It's just easier to not put myself out there and to continue experiencing rejection from people. It's easier for me to sit here in my house, away from the world, and not face trying. I myself make myself feel this way, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not good enough for people to want to get to know. I wanted to isolate from the world as much as I could, but all I ever did was complain about how miserable I was. And I would watch everyone else living their lives wishing I could just get it together, wishing I could be them or someone other than myself. I just wanted the emotional pain to go away. The emotional pain, that is why I ate. I used to have this all or nothing mentality, which is tip number 2, that I got rid of that crap. What I used to do was I would go on the scale, and if the scale went up, I would get upset and I would give in to the excuse to just eat, because let's be real, sometimes I just needed to give myself that green light. Girl, the scale went up, go ahead and eat. You got the green light. Instead of sitting there and rationalizing a reason why the scale might be up, or like I am now, not caring about the scale, which would be number 2, going into number 2, not caring what that stupid scale says. I needed to give myself that green light to say, you're justified in doing this behavior, even though you know it's not good for you. But hey, you can just start tomorrow. And we all know where tomorrow led me to be. It didn't matter the excuse. I wasn't in the best place in life. The scale went up. I was sad. Life was just too hard. Girl, you're justified in these feelings. Just go eat. You're gonna feel better. Just go do it. And I would. But I stopped that this year. And I no longer am self-sabotaging. I'm no longer allowing that all or nothing mentality to take over. And instead of, if I feel sad about something, or if I feel emotions I don't want to feel, I'm feeling them. I have healthy coping tools that I can now go to for comfort instead of eating. And I'm gonna be honest, and this is why I'm saying in the beginning, this is why I said in the beginning of the video, this is stuff you don't want to hear, because this is the stuff that nobody wants to do. This is not a quick fix. This is not again, no shade or no shame to anyone that is taking medications, okay? I want to make that abundantly clear. But for me, I feel a lot of people are looking for that. They're not looking to do the work. And I knew for me, I had to have the food noise because I had to do the work. You took that food noise away from me. Do you really think I would have done the work? Girl, please. Absolutely not. Which is why whenever anyone in the comment section would go, just get on a medication, just get on medication. Absolutely not. So here's another daily habit that I have incorporated. And if you guys have been watching me all year, you know I have worked out every single day this year. And I have switched my mentality from I have to work out, I've got to work out, to I get to work out and I want to work out. Why do I want to work out? Because I'm no longer looking at exercise as a means to fit into a different pant size. It is not a means to have my body look a certain way. It is solely for my freaking mental health. If I don't feel good, it's harder for me to want to stay on this journey. If I feel sad, it's harder for me to not want to go to food for comfort. So I rely heavily on exercising because I have found that I actually love it. I love the way that I feel after I work out. I love dancing. And here's the important thing when it comes to working out. Find the thing or the things that you are going to do. Gotten myself a virtual trainer. I have been dancing to the Fitness Marshall, which I absolutely love. And then I'm also really enjoying going outside and walking, which is something I never thought that I would say. I also look at my toning workouts, which I used to dread, as something, again, I have to do. Now it's something I get to do, and now it's something I want to do because I want to be stronger the older I get, because let's be real, we're not getting any younger here, and the older you get, the more muscle mass you lose, and all of those things happen where your bones aren't as strong, everything's not as strong. But if you're toning as you age, I want to be, when my kids have grandkids, I want to be able to run and play around with them and pick them up and hold them and not be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sore. Like I want to be strong. I want to be strong and I want to be healthy more than I just want to be thin. Another daily habit that has been crucial to the 56 pounds that I have lost is changing my mindset. And how is it that I've gone about changing my mindset? Daily affirmations. They are so incredibly crucial to my weight loss success. I put them on my mirror. I have them every single day on my phone, and I will list my most used weight loss apps video down below in the description box if you guys are interested in learning more about the apps I use on a daily basis that have also helped me to lose my 56 pounds. But saying these affirmations and believing them, because repetition is something that is proven to work. You keep repeating this to yourself, your brain is gonna have no choice but to actually start believing it. Even if I'm breaking down crying, I have some footage I'm gonna share with you right now of me freaking crying, break down crying, still saying these affirmations. I don't care how I felt every single day this year. I have said positive affirmations to myself, and I've tried my very best to believe them. So look at this footage.
I'm focusing on my growth. I am grateful for the peacefulness of early mornings. I am making good choices today. Every day I thank God for all that I have. I am dedicated to improving my health. It is okay to feel sad sometimes. I can feel my body and mind working together to keep me healthy and happy. I am excited and happy for the changes that are taking place. My life is full of joy and happiness, and I choose to enjoy my life completely. I am grateful that the sun is shining, the birds are singing. I cherish every step of my journey. I am a fast learner. I choose the happiness of the present over the sadness of the past.
It has been so incredibly powerful for me changing my mindset. Kind of going along with this, every single day I have also done a journal and gratitude entry, because the journal helps because I get to write down my feelings. So if I'm feeling something, if I'm angry, if I'm sad, if I'm whatever, I'll write in my journal. I also write my positive affirmations in my journal. And again, this is something that I'm doing whether I feel like it or not. I could be, again, break down crying, and I'm still writing in my journal, whether it's writing something positive, writing something hopeful that I'm hoping for the future, writing something to get to know myself more. There is so many journal prompts that you can look up. There are probably self-love, self-care journals that you can purchase. Sometimes I'll just write prayers, and I will just write a letter to God, because sometimes it's like you can't even get out the words of what you want to say, so I'll write it down. And I have written here, the reason I mention that I'll be breaking down crying, so sad, feeling so hopeless, and I still make myself write something, the reason I mention this is because my old attitude used to be that I don't care. If I was sad, I didn't do anything. I would not exercise. I would not do the gratitude, because I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, I'm just done. I'm just done with life. I'm done with this. Like, yeah, I have things that are nice or whatever, but I don't care. I just don't freaking care. And I would not care to write in my journal. I wouldn't care to like address the feelings I'm feeling, because I was just in so much self-pity all the freaking time. But my old attitude used to be, I don't care. If I was sad, I didn't do anything because I was sad or mad or just didn't care. I took on this I don't care attitude anytime things got hard and I started to self-sabotage. And again, I think that this was my little green light to be like, okay, girl, like things are hard. It's okay. You can go ahead and eat now. You can go ahead and go back to those old habits that you know you so bad that they're knocking at the door. Just go ahead and go. And I would. But I made myself a promise at the beginning of this year that I was no longer going to allow my emotions to control me. And I haven't. Haven't had days where I've been really sad that I try really hard to get out of that funk, and then I just end up just being like, you know what? I tried this and this and this, and it didn't work. So I'm just gonna lay on the couch and just kind of zone out for the rest of the day. Yeah, I have those days sometimes, but again, compared to how many I used to have, Not even a comparison. This is a big one. I eat whatever I want. Now, don't get it twisted. You did not hear me say I eat however much I want or when I want. I said I eat whatever I want. I do not cut anything out. I have cake every single night or ice cream. I have dessert essentially. I am eating really delicious food. I'm enjoying my food. I do not cut anything out. If I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm full, actually before I actually hit that full spot, I stop. I do not restrict myself. No ifs, ands, or buts. If I want French fries, I'm gonna find a way to make French fries work. If I want fried chicken, I'm gonna make a way to make it work. Whether I'm making it myself and I'm making a lower calorie version of it, or whether I'm just gonna go and divide up my calories and have a lighter lunch, have a lighter breakfast, whatever. I'm going to eat whatever it is that I'm craving. By the way, I have 2 dessert videos. If you guys wanna go check them out, I will link them down below in the description box. I would also like to say I have not binged a single day this entire year, and we are 7, almost 8 months into this year, okay? I have not binged at all. I have emotionally ate out of this entire year 3 or 4 days, which is so incredible. And it's because of everything, not just the fact that I don't restrict, but obviously not restricting is a big reason why. Because I'm allowing myself to have foods that I'm craving or wanting, or finding lighter, lower calorie ways to incorporate some of my favorite foods in every day. So I just wanted to say I'm patting myself on the back for that, because that is a huge freaking accomplishment that I don't know that I ever could comprehend that I would ever be able to do something like that. I wrote here on my phone, you have to do the work. The habits I'm telling you about, the journaling, the self-love, life bingo cards, which I haven't really mentioned that, but I have a playlist down below. And essentially the bingo cards are me just making these cards each month for myself, and I'll write down goals that I want to accomplish for the year, financial, getting out of my comfort zone, growing as a person, exploring the city because I'm still fairly new here, meeting people, getting myself out there, going to movies, self-care, stuff like that. I have a playlist, so I'll just link that down below. But life bingo cards, speaking kinder to myself, daily affirmations, exercising, not restricting food. This is why I've lost 56 pounds. It is not as simple as stay in a calorie deficit and eat less and move more. It's so much more than that. The second that I stop doing any of the things that I've mentioned, okay, I'll start giving up on myself and I will start getting the weight back. That is how I know all of the things that I'm doing is freaking crucial. Every single thing I have mentioned in this video is crucial, and it is why I have lost the weight that I have lost. It is, again, it's not just cut the calories, don't eat this, move more, exercise more, and you'll lose the weight. Sure, we all know how to lose weight. It is essentially eat less, move more. However, I don't want to just lose weight. I want to change my life. I want to change the way I think. I want to change who I am as a person. I want to change in the aspect of being a little more trusting of people and letting people in a little bit more, even though that's been real freaking hard. But I want to change my entire being. I want to change my habits. I don't want to be an inactive person. I want to go do active things. This is another thing, I kind of touched on this, but I have gotten to the point now, okay, so 7 months in, this month really is when I really started focusing on my hunger. Because when I was 300 plus pounds, I did not listen to my hunger at all. As a matter of fact, I don't even think that I ever got hungry, okay, let's be real. So I have really been tuning into my hunger. Whereas before it was, okay, this is everything, I had everything planned out to the T. In the beginning, I had to do that, which by the way, I'm gonna do a beginner's guide to losing weight, because there's a lot of things I did in the beginning of my weight loss journey that I no longer do, but I needed to do in the beginning of my weight loss journey. So going back to that, I was, I would eat breakfast and then I would work out. If I wasn't hungry when I ate breakfast, I don't care, I still ate. Come 12, 1 o'clock, it didn't matter if I was hungry, it's lunchtime, we're gonna eat. Same with snack, I religiously ate it at 4 o'clock, and then dinner we had about 7. Now, I go based on hunger cues. If I'm not hungry when I wake up, I don't eat. And it's no longer this thing of you have this many calories planned out for the day. If I'm hungry, if I'm not hungry, I'm not gonna eat all of those calories. I'm just plain and simple going to say, oh, I'm not gonna get this, I'm not gonna eat this. But I really have been focusing on eating when I'm hungry, stopping before I reach the point of fullness. I can't tell you the last time I've actually felt full, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm full. I know for sure this whole entire year, I have not at any point got to the point of feeling uncomfortable. Even when I had those days, those 3-4 days this year in May in which I emotionally ate, I still did not eat past the point of feeling uncomfortable. Another thing I do, I read every single day. I read at least 10 pages of any book every single day. And doing this, honestly, has got me watching way less TV. It's got me scrolling way less on my phone. Even just those 10 pages, because sometimes, especially if a book's real good, I will read more than 10 pages. Or I'll be like, oh, I don't really have any work to do, so I'm just gonna curl up and I'm gonna read a book. Or I'll go down to the pool and I'm like, I'm grabbing my book. I'm gonna sit in the float and I'm gonna read for hours. I love reading. I have a Kindle. I love it. I'll link it down below. Highly recommend it, especially if you want to read outside. It's the best. I listen to weight loss motivational podcasts every single day without fail. I have to consume positive, uplifting, believe in yourself. You can do this. Fuck the statistics. Don't listen to them. You need to believe in yourself, because listen, if you believe you can do it, you will. If you believe you can't, you can't. It is as simple as that. You can never let go of the belief in yourself. No matter how hard things get, no matter how long that scale stays stuck, you have to keep believing in yourself. Because as long as you do, you will reach your goals. The minute that you start doubting yourself and letting self-doubt creep in, you are not going to succeed. You are going to go right back into those old habits and you're gonna say, F it. I can't do it. Why even bother? I can't do it. So I listen to weight loss, inspirational, motivational podcasts, videos, all of that stuff. My most favorite person is Chris Taylor, because he gives it to you like it is. He's a no BS motivational person. I love him. He's lost the weight. He's kept it off for years. And he, again, has this no BS, no excuses kind of attitude that I just personally need, and I freaking love him. So yes, every single day I have listened to something of his or something inspirational that has to do with weight loss and building upon my dreams and chasing my dreams and never giving up on myself. So these are some things real quick I wrote down. I started believing in myself. Huge. I started keeping the promises I made to myself and committed to following through. So important. I started dating myself. So important. I stopped spending unnecessary money on junk, and I committed to not using credit cards anymore. Now, some of you might say, well, what the hell does that have to do with any kind of weight loss? Self-control. Self-freaking control. I am exercising self-control in so many other areas of my life, including food and weight loss, but also in my finances. And let me tell you, it has been so freaking hard, okay? It has been so hard. But I made that commitment to myself. I'm exercising the self-control to not use the credit cards. And I can happily say that I've paid off several credit cards this year. And even though things have been real financially tough for me this year, I have not charged a single thing. And that also forced me to be creative in doing things that bring me joy that are free. Because there's some things out there, especially if you live in a bigger city. This right here, I know this video is long, but listen, this is all so freaking important. And I told y'all, it's so much more than just eat less, move more. It's so much more than this. I stopped looking at the big picture. I stopped looking at, this is how much weight I have left to lose. Girl, if you were to ask me right now, I don't know. I don't know how much weight I have to lose. I don't want to know, because all I look at is getting myself to the next 20 pounds, okay? That's what I'm focused on right now. The next 20 pounds, I'm sitting at like 275. I think that's what I weighed the last time I weighed. So if I'm 275, I'm looking at getting myself to 255. And once I get to 255, woo, we did it. Congratulations, amazing, so awesome. So proud of you. Can probably fit in a different size. Celebrations, amazing. Let's go for the next 20. So 250, let's go for 235. I do not look at, I want to weigh 140. How much do I have to weigh? How much do I have to lose to get down to 140? Because girl, no, it is just too overwhelming. It is just too much. I need to look at it in much smaller increments. Because for me, that's incredibly doable. That is so freaking doable. But 100 pounds? Whew, that's a little more testing my beliefs, testing my, I don't know that I can do this. Like, it's a long time. I just like to look at it in the 20 pound increments. So that's how I look at it. And I recommend if you're looking at it in the big picture that maybe you size it down considerably so you can look at it in more manageable sized goals. Last but not least for this video, I started setting boundaries for myself and I started sticking to them. If someone tells me who they are, I believe them the minute they tell me who they are. I do not give them multiple chances, because for what? When someone shows you who they are or they tell you who they are, believe them, because they weren't lying, okay? If a man wants to, they will. If a woman wants to in a friendship, she will. I will no longer go chasing friendships. I will no longer go chasing men. I will no longer be concerned if a man likes me. I'm only concerned if I like him. And again, when someone tells you who they are, freaking believe them. I mean, there are exceptions to this rule in a way where if someone says, because, you know, we say stupid stuff, and depending on how they come back and apologize, if they do apologize, depending on how they rectify that scenario, if they do a really crappy job of that, there is no second chance. For what? I no longer give excuses for people's behavior. But on the flip side, I've also really started looking deep within myself and how in relationships, I have started to take some accountability for my actions and not place the blame solely on the other person. So for instance, the people in my past, it's not 100% their fault. I am to blame too, and girl, that is some growth right there. That is some growth. So yeah, I know this was a really, really, really long video, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I can literally talk about this for hours on end because there have been so many changes that I have made. And when it came down to writing this little script that I've written, it was really about listing out the things that are truly, truly, truly important. And again, while exercise and food obviously made it into this video because they are crucial parts, the other things are so incredibly crucial. And without all of this, I would not be successful. Again, the minute I let one of the things go, that's when I'm gonna, cause already I've went back on a commitment that I made to myself. So if I went back on this, say it's as simple as I stop reading every day. So I stopped reading and now I'm like, oh, I'm not reading. So I gave up that commitment to myself. Why don't we give up more? I go use my credit card when I made the commitment to myself that I'm not gonna use it. And I go and I use it anyways. What is that telling myself? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget about my membership. It is linked down below if you guys want to learn more about it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.